Good day, everyone. We are the Warriors of Love and we'll present about Sikhism. So, to formally start the discussion, here is Danielle Roliepa.
Sikhism is one of the youngest of the major religions. This religion is have a founder, and this is a religion founded in Punjab in the 15th century. Sikh ethics emphasize the congruence between spiritual development and everyday moral conduct. Its founder, Guru Nanak, summarized this perspective as truth is the highest virtue, but higher is still truthful living. A monotheistic religion founded in Punjab in the 15th century by Guru Nanak. Sikhism or Sikhi is a dharmic religion that originated in the Punjab region of the Indian subcontinent. Around the end of the 15th century, Sikhism is one of the youngest of the major religions and the world's fifth largest organized religion, with about 25 to 30 million Sikhs as of the early 21st century. Sikhism is utilitarianism, and the major historic sects of Sikhism, states Harjat Oberoi, have included Udasi, Nirmala, Nanak Fanti Khalsa, Sahadari, Namdari Kuka, Nirankari, and Sarvaria.
So we have 10 Sikh gurus who are considered as the spiritual masters and chief proponents who established this religion over the course of about 2.5 centuries, beginning in 1469, which marks the birth of Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak is the first Sikh guru and was one of the greatest religious innovators of all time and the founder of the Sikh religion known as Sikhism. He introduced the system of langar or community free kitchen because of his belief that there is oneness of humanity. So he offered free meals to everyone regardless of their caste, gender, or wealth. Many Sikhs serve langar to people outside the Gurdwara. It is the Sikh place of worship. The most famous teachings attributed to him is that there is only one God and that all human beings can have direct access to God with no need of rituals or priests. His most radical social teachings denounced the caste system and taught that everyone is equal regardless of the caste or gender. Guru Nanak died in the 16th century, but before his death, he named Guru Angad, which is not his son, as his successor. Thus, Guru Angad, second Sikh Guru. He is the Guru who strengthened Sikhism by popularizing the Gurumukhi script. So he popularized the use of a simplified alphabet by modifying the old Punjabi characters, now known as the Gurmukhi script. The development of the Gurmukhi script helped to express the true meaning of the Guru's teachings without any misunderstanding. So he is remembered in Sikhism for adopting and formalizing the Gurmukhi alphabet. He made sure that the institution of langar, the communal meal served at the Gurdwara, became an obligation. Before dying, Guru Angad Dev appointed his sincere disciple Amar Das as his successor, which is now the third Sikh Guru, Amar Das. He introduced the Anand Kara marriage ceremony for the Sikh, replacing the Hindu form. He also established the Manji male Sikh preachers and the Piri female Sikh preacher system of religious missions for men and women, respectively. So this system is to spread the teachings of Sikhism among the masses. He also strengthened the langar system. Everyone, irrespective of their religion, caste, or social status, had to first share a meal at the community kitchen with others before being granted an appointment with the Guru. Next to him was Guru Ramdas, the fourth Sikh Guru. So he laid the foundation of the city Amritsar. Foundations of Ramdaspur later renamed to Amritsar when he inaugurated the excavation in 1577. He composed the 4 lavans or stanzas of the Anand Kara or wedding hymn. He started construction of the Golden Temple. So in the years to come, Ram Das also stepped up his efforts to strengthen the practice of commensality and even proclaimed that kings and emperors are all created by God. They come and bow in reverence to God's humble servant. Okay, so for the 5th Sikh Guru, we have Guru Arjan, who is known for many significant reasons. He created the compilation known as the Adi Granth, which are the sayings and the hymns of the previous gurus, including his own. So, as we all see, this will eventually evolve into Guru Granth Sahib, which is considered not only the Sikh holy book but also the last and final of the gurus. In Amritsar, where Ramdas started the construction of the Golden Temple, he finished it and called it Harmandir Sahib. He was also known as the first martyr in the Sikh faith and hailed as the Shahidan Desarta. He gave up his life for the Sikh people.
Guru Hargobind, 1595 to 1644, he was the sixth Sikh Guru, the creator of Akal Takht or Throne of the Timeless One. It was a religion site in India, which served as the supreme decision-making center of Sikhdom, and it sits opposite in Hari Mandir Sahib. It's a temple located in Amritsar, India. He connected the practice of he commenced the practice of creating the Sikh army, saints warrior, and the first guru to engage the warfare. He had become the guru at the age of 11 after his father's execution. He was the one who's responsible for his father's execution, actually, to protect the Sikh community. He symbolized it by wearing two swords representing the Miri and Piri, temporal power and spiritual authority. Seventh Guru, Guru Harai, 1630 to 1661, just like what I said earlier, he was the seventh Guru and Sikh and become a Sikh Guru at the age of 14 after the death of his grandfather, the sixth Guru, for 17 years until his death of age of age of 31. He was known for maintaining the large army of Sikh soldiers that the Sikh Guru established and started the tradition of public singing and scripture in recital in Sikhism. He added the katha or discourse styles recitals and the akhand kirtan or continuous scripture in singing traditions of Sabad Kirtan. He wrote the Talok Mahala Satwin and continued the fight against the atrocities of Islam and because of that he was tortured and assassinated by Aurangzeb, who blamed Sikhism for being anti-Islamic. Next, Guru Harai Krishan, 1656 to 1661. He was the eighth guru of Sikh religion, the youngest, and guru for the shortest duration of just 7 years. He was also known as the Bal Guru, in English, child guru. While visiting the Delhi, he was tested by Raha's wife because of the youngest, because of his. Okay, so Guru Har Krishan, 1656 to 1661. He was the eighth guru of Sikh religion, the youngest, and a guru for the shortest duration of just 7 years. He is also known as Bal Guru, or in English, child guru. While visiting the Delhi, he was tested by Raha's wife because of the young age of being guru to know if he has the spiritual power. So she disguised herself as a maid, but she immediately recognized by the eighth guru and proclaiming this is the Rani that convinced her that he has the spiritual power. And during his stay, he unfortunately died due to smallpox, which he contracted while treating the sick people there. Uh, he treated them by bathing them in well of bongalo. He remembered in Sikh tradition for saying Baba Bakali before he died, which Sikhs interpreted to identify his grand uncle, Guru Teg Bahadur, as a new guru. Next, Guru, Guru Teg Bahadur, 1621 to 1675, uh, the second last human guru, the ninth guru. He remembered by his martyrdom by protecting the religious freedom of Hindus and Kashmir and protection on human rights. He contributes many hymns to Guru Granth Sahib, including the saloks or couplets near the end of the Guru Granth Sahib, or it means the holy text of Sikhism. He was the conversion of Hindu Kashmiri Pandits to Muslim, and because of that, he was tortured and executed by the orders of Aurangzeb. the sixth Mughal emperor. And the last guru, Guru Gobind Singh, 1666 to 1708, he was the final guru of Sikhism or the 10th Sikh guru. He was the founder of Sikh warrior community called Khalsa. He introduced the five keys, the five articles of faith that Khalsa Sikh wears all the times, and he was credited with the Dasam Grant, a controversial religious text considered as the second scripture by some Sikh, and it was significant role in initiation and daily life of devout Khalsa Sikh. He was the last Sikh Guru human. So, since he was the last Sikh Guru human form, he passed the Guruship to Sikh Guru Granth Sahib, or just like what I said earlier, it was a holy text of Sikhism.
Criticism of the theory. Sikhism has been criticized for various reasons by non-Sikh and some scholars, but Sikhs and other scholars find this criticism to be flawed and based on poor understanding or common to all religions. The colonial era missionary Ernest Trump criticized Sikhism for its incoherent scripture that its followers do not understand. Whom MacLeod has criticized the Sikh popular historical literature, such as the Janamaskis, as a historical and legendary fiction that misinforms with miracles. In 2009, the Ravidasi tradition split and left Sikhism and founded their own Ravidasya religion after criticizing Sikhs for intolerance and social discrimination. The Ravidasya sect, also called Dravidas is a religious sect founded in the 14th century of Vaishnavism. Ravidasyas believe the Ravidas in their guru or saint, whereas the Sikh have traditionally considered him as one of the many bhagats or holy persons. Ernest Trump, a colonial era Christian missionary instead, as in 1869 by the Secretary of the State for India on behalf of the British government to translate the Adi Grant and Dasam Grant, enthusiastically started studying and translating them. However, after his initial effort, he stated that they were not worth translating in full because the same few ideas he taught being endlessly repeated. He found that the Sikh grantees who recited the text in the early 1870s lacked comprehension and its sense of meaning. He stated that Sikh had lost all learnings and the grantees were misleading. Even for Sikh, the language of the Guru Granth Sahib is considered archaic and hard to understand without the interpreter. Trump said that Sikhism was a reform movement in spirit, but completely failed to achieve anything of real religious significance. He concluded that the most Sikh do not understand what their scriptures verses mean and any metaphysical speculations therein. His criticism reflected the bias of his missionary agenda, which assumed that ancient Christian scriptures were coherent, had the right answer, and that all other religion must be held in contempt.
The theology of Sikhism, Tony Valentin has dubbed W. H. MacLeod the most significant modern-era historian of Sikhism. These are inventions of myth and miracles that are highly inconsistent with assertions. According to MacLeod, the vast compilation of Sikh Janamsakhis after a critical scholarship can be reduced to 3 short paragraphs of information. For example, is about the real Guru Nanak. MacLeod's works have been influential popular among the Western academics and Indian scholars working outside India. Nanak's originality lay in mystical experience with the historical foundations of introspection, interiorization, detachment, meditation, and spiritually found in the Indian religions such as Buddhism, Hinduism, and Jainism. In Muslim period, the theology of Sikhism became less spiritual upliftment. Nirguna and Saguna and how Nanak's theological thought that God can communicate to every human being and how this communication can be recognized, accepted, and followed. For the practices of Sikhism, since early 20th century, Farquhar and other scholars state that the Madhatekna is a form of idolatry. According to them, idolatry is any form of bowing or worship of any object, but Christina Mervold claims that every Sikh scripture copy is treated like a person and venerated with elaborate ceremonies.
Benefit of the theory. According to Sikhism, such a food can provide benefit to the Brahmins, but the benefit can reach their ancestors. As per Sikh belief, it is much better to respect one's parent while alive than offering food after their death. Both Hindu and Sikh ethics are primary duty-based traditional teaching deal and the duties of individuals and families to maintain a lifestyle conducting to physical, mental, and spiritual health. Unlike the linear view of life, death, heaven, or hell, after in Abrahamic religions for Hindus and Sikhs, believes in the concept of the sapsara, that is life, birth, and death, are repeated for each soul and cycle until one reaches mukti or moksha. He believed that a single divine force created the entire world and resided within it. It his belief God is not separated from the world and watching from a distance, but fully present in every aspect of creation. He therefore asserted that all people are equally divine and deserve to be treated is one who cultivates the spiritual self while also serving the communities around them with our saint soldier. The community, where the collective entity can be together individuals on the basis of shared belief and practice.
Okay na yan. G. So, Sikhism has 10 benefits of prayers. First, it provides a communication link to a higher authority, brings a wider spiritual vision, higher consciousness, greater tolerance, and understanding. Second, it makes one humble. The person realizes that in all of God's creation, they are only a very thin speck. 3. One becomes more conscious of the numerous expanse of God's creation and so appreciates the reality of life in a much wider framework. 4. It brings us closer to our spiritual leaders, the gurus. 5. The mind of focus away from purely material and carnal pursuits. 6. Its help and encourage the person keeps away from sin and bad deeds. 7. It promotes the person to move away from negative company and bad habits. 8. Eager, lust, pride, attachment, and greed will diminish in the person who prays regularly. 9. As per Gorbani, it will cure all ills. It makes one healthy and happy. 10. Spiritual improvement. The person who spends time in the fresh presence of God will change for the better.
Application of the theory: abortion, human sexuality, environmental ethics. Human sexuality. Sikhism has no specific teaching about homosexuality. In the Sikh Holy Scripture, the Guru Granth Sahib does not explicitly mention heterosexuality, homosexuality, or bisexuality. The universal goal of a Sikh is to have no hate or animosity to any person, regardless of factors like race, caste, greed, or gender. Within the last few years, the topic of homosexuality has become much discussed in religions all over the world. Human sexuality is the way people experience and express themselves sexually. This involves like physical, emotional, spiritual feelings and behaviors. Sakdipsi, this is the first ever Indian documentary on the topic of Sikhism, and it will act as an important for LGBTQ Sikh. Sakdipsi, for a long time, he felt like he was the only Sikh person who was gay. He remembered how elated he was first come across another gay. As he came out eventually and got more involved with the LGBTQ community, he was also made aware of my religions. Next,
Abortion is generally forbidden in Sikhism. What does Sikhism teach or talk about abortion? The Sikh gurus teach that human life is a gift that should not be wasted. With the Nikh Guru Tegh Bahadur stated, "You have obtained the priceless jewel of this human life. Why are you useless wasting it?" This focus on the value of human life suggests that the gurus would not condone abortion being carried out from a serious reason. As there is no explicit ban or contraception, it would be better to avoid conception completely rather than have an abortion at a later date.
abortion may be accepted by some Sikh in circumstances such as rape or to save the mother's life. The Gurus teach that every person carries the same divine sparks. As such, life must be protected. The divine light is within everyone. You are the light. Sikh would not view it as their responsibility to decide whether an unborn child dish or not, as would be out of their hands and would depend on the course of nature. Many would view abortion as being immortal, as it would be destroying the potential of life for the child. Sikh look at the Guru Granth Sahib to determine the rightness or wrongness of any moral issue, such as abortion. Sikhism teaches that life is sacred and that talking a life is wrong. Therefore, abortion is generally seen as wrong. Next.
Environmental ethics. Sikhism encourages people to respect and live in harmony with the environment, including the animal, plant. The Sikh Holy Scripture state, "Air is the Guru, water is the Father, and the earth is the Great Mother." And it is not acceptable for a Sikh to dispose a litter in the street. The Guru Granth Sahib teaches that Sikh how respect and responsibility towards creation and bear in mind the needs of future generations as well as their own current needs. In environmental ethics of Sikhism, they implement EcoSikh. EcoSikh is an environmental organization that engages the Sikh in the environment issue in two halves, and the world through awareness, action, and advocacy. Guru's wisdom believed that all humans have an intrinsic sensitivity to the natural world and that a sustainable, more just society is possible, where water, air, land, forest, and biodiversity remains vibrant living system for their generation and future generation. Next.
Evaluation of Sikhism. Sikhism was found in the Punjab region of the Indian subcontinent in the late 15th century. The Sikhs called their faith Gurmat or Punjabi, the way of the Guru. According to Sikh tradition, Sikhism was established by Guru Nanak in 1469 to 1539. History and doctrine. Sikhs in Punjabi means learner, and those who joined the Sikh community or Panth were people who sought spiritual guidance. Sikh claims that their tradition has always been separate from Hinduism. Some scholars have argued that the Sants were influenced by Islam through their contact with the Mongol rulers of India. In the 20th century to the present, Sikhism is the product of five pivotal events: the teaching of Guru Nanak, arming of the Sikhs, founding of the Khalsa, passing of the mystical Guru to the Guru Granth Sahib, and the reformation at the hands of the Tat Khalsa. The Sikh Gurdwaras Act of 1925 entrusted the control of the principal Sikh temples to Sikh controls. Sikhs are universally proud of their distinct faith. The Gurdwara Pardhat Committee is regarded by the many Sikhs as supreme authority within the path.
How Sikhism influenced environmental ethics.
Sikhism influenced people to live with respect in environment and living creatures. Do Sikhism respected in the past?
According to Sikh historian Trilokyan Singh, were extremely vulgar attacks on Sikhism by people who did not respect Sikh history, culture, or religion, reflected the scientific analytical method's arrogance. What is Sorath Ra'an?
Sorat is an Indian musical raga musical mode that appears in the Sikh tradition from northern India and part of Sikh holy scripture called Sri Guru Granth Sahib. Sorat Rag is a general known by heart to most of the Gursikhs. It is a very simple and sweet rag, but it will be appealing only when the soul will seek the Lord's name. What is the important thing to Sikhism?
The most significant aspect of Sikhism is the individual's interior religious state. Sikhs think that the best way to live a good life is to always keep God in mind and heart. So that's for our topic, Sikhism. Thank you for listening and God bless.